I'd love to walk more, but it's boring. I get bored when I walk. Have you ever said that, maybe thought that, or felt that? Hi, I'm Dave. If you're new to this channel, not a doctor, not a licensed personal trainer. Since 2013, I've walked 19,000 steps a day. That's my average. And for almost 3 years, I've hosted a daily podcast, 10 minutes every day. Walking is fitness. I record each episode while I'm out walking to help encourage and motivate others to do the same. I am convinced, with all this walking that I've done, that one of the keys to starting and primarily sticking with fitness is that it's got to be something that you enjoy. And if it's boring, if you get bored while you're doing it, it's going to be really hard to stick with it. In this video, I want to give you 5 ways that you can make walking more fun, more enjoyable. So let's start with the low-hanging fruit. Number 1, comfort. If you're not comfortable while you're walking, and I'm talking about the shoes you're wearing, the clothes you're wearing, it's going to be hard to get out there and take a walk. Shoes are more than just the right size. I know a lot of times we focus on how a shoe looks. Does it look good? Do I look good? And if it's the right size, that's what we go for. But actually having the right kind of shoes, because feet are so different. You have high arches, you have no arches, you have low arches. Having shoes that actually fit your unique foot is crucial. I learned this, again, about a year ago. I got a pair of shoes that I really liked the way that they looked, but they weren't the right shoes for me. And after about a week of wearing them and doing a lot of walking, I noticed some knee pain. And I'm thinking, what is this? After a few days, wondering if I had done something to hurt myself, I started thinking, well, maybe it's the shoes. Maybe it's the shoes. And so I changed the shoes. Within a few days, the pain was gone. Having the right shoes is crucial, because if your feet hurt, if your feet aren't happy, you're not going to have fun. I recommend you go to a running store. It's a great resource for those who walk for exercise. And have one of the experts size your feet. Check your feet out and find shoes that are proper for you. Because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to want to do it. Same with the clothing. Having clothing that is appropriate for the weather that you're walking in is super important. So number 1 is comfort. And also how far you're walking. Sometimes when we get started, when we start pursuing fitness, when we start pursuing exercise, we think that we're all in. I'm going to go get 10,000 steps. Well, that's too much to start. And if you're pushing yourself too far, that can cause a problem. I've had a career in radio, and one of the things that we lived by was turn the mic off before the listeners turn the radio off. In other words, leave them wanting more. Stop talking just as they're really enjoying it, so they want more, so they stay listening, so they come back. Same with walking, same with exercise. Don't beat yourself up. In fact, walk, and at the point where you're having the most fun, that's probably when you should stop, because you'll want to get out again the next time. So don't push yourself too far, particularly at the beginning. So number 1, low-hanging fruit, is comfort. Number 2 is location, where you're walking. If you're not walking in a place that you enjoy, over time, that's going to become, well, boring. And maybe you don't have a place out your front door that is fun, that is enjoyable. I recommend that you hop in the car and drive someplace. Maybe there's a nearby park. Again, don't go crazy, but are there places near where you live that could change things up, make it less boring, make it more fun? I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I have all kinds of options that I take advantage of that keeps walking fun. But for many years, I didn't live here. I lived in Maryland, lived near Baltimore. And we didn't live in a place that I could open the front door and just go out and have all kinds of fun, unique locations in which to walk. So every now and then I would hop in my car and I'd drive to DC, Washington, DC. And it took about an hour, and I would walk and get quite a few steps, but I loved that because I love walking through cities. And so that was a way to make walking more fun. Number 3, the time of day when you're walking. Now this might seem a little odd, but the reality is we're all different. Some of us are morning people. Some of us prefer the afternoons. Some of us prefer the evenings. And if you're walking at a time that doesn't really align with your body clock, that can start to wear on you. I'm a morning person. It is a little after 6. I'm walking right now, and I love this. I love the way things feel, things look in the morning, the way things sound in the morning. And to me, that's fun. But if you're not a morning person, like my wife, getting up super early, that can just be tiring. And that can drain the fun from taking a walk. Number 4, what are you listening to while you walk? We have so many options. We can listen to music. We can listen to podcasts. I know a pretty good 10-minute walking podcast, Walking is Fitness, and I aim to try to make it fun for those who are listening while they're walking. You can choose an audiobook and maybe even limit when you listen to the audiobook to just when you're walking. And if it's a great book, that becomes added motivation to get out and take the walk. You can use your walk time to connect with family, with friends, by talking on the telephone. Because one of the beautiful things about walking is that we can do other things while we're walking. So what are you doing? And then there are times when taking a quiet walk is fun. And then number 5, gamify your walk. Turn it into a game. Maybe if you have a step tracker, you can set a daily step goal. And don't go crazy. Again, if you're just getting started, 10,000 steps really is not the best goal to begin. Perhaps 5,000 steps. And as you go through the day, you start looking for opportunities to take the walk. Things that you never considered before. You take the car to get the oil changed, and you're sitting in the waiting room, and there's a park across the street, and you start thinking, I don't have to sit here. I can go take a walk. I can go get 500 steps or 1,000 steps while I'm waiting for my car. So adding a step goal every day can turn it into a game. Perhaps you could use your iPhone, and every time you're heading out for a walk, set a goal to take a picture, something that you've never seen before or never noticed before on your walk. I did that for an entire year. Every single day I took a picture from my walk and I posted it on social media along with my step count. It was a way to turn it into a game and also to add some accountability. Fitness is hard. Finding the fun is crucial, because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's going to be hard to stick with it. I invite you to listen to my podcast, Walking is Fitness. Every day there's a brand new episode, 10 minutes, and I don't record it while I'm in a studio, in a comfortable studio, saying, you should get out and take a walk. I am out walking as I record. So essentially, we're walking together. And I work hard to make each episode interesting, so it can add a little bit of fun to your pursuit of fitness. Again, the name of the podcast is Walking is Fitness. Thanks for watching. Until next week.